Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I want to talk about autocannons. By definition, an autocannon is a fully automatic gun that is capable of rapid firing large caliber, so 20mm or more, shells that are either armor piercing, explosive or incendiary. A very good in-game example of an autocannon is the BMP-2, or the more recently added FORAD, which is what you're seeing right now. The latter, the FORAD, is my reason for making this video. As of late, I have noticed one of two things happening. FORADs rushing forward, making a complete spectacle of themselves with the 20mm cannon blazing, or FORADs sitting back trying to hide in a bush but failing because they've got the 20mm cannon just blazing away. Most of the time, autocannons need to be used in very specific ways. The two best examples of autocannons in the game are the BMP-2 and the FORAD. Both tanks have two weapon systems. One weapon system for long-range engagements, one weapon system for short-range engagements. The mistake I think people make is they put both weapon systems into the same category. The BMP-2 has ATGMs for long range. The FORAD has a 105mm gun for long range. This is not to say that autocannons can't be used at range, but their use at range will have a far greater negative impact on your game than a positive impact. Why? Well, there are two reasons for this really. Firstly, damage and penetration values drop with range. The FORAD's autocannon has 87mm of penetration at 100 meters. This drops to 64mm of penetration at 500 meters. 87mm of pen is pretty terrible anyway, so spamming the autocannon at a target that is 800 meters away is only going to earn the target blocked damage. You're also giving away your position. So secondly, if you're just going to sit back and hold the trigger down with the autocannon, you're not only giving the enemy team block damage, but your position is very easily found, because if I'm on the enemy team and I see a line of tracer coming all the way across the map, flying all the way across the map, all I need to do is follow it back to the point of origin, and like magic, there you are. And if you hadn't been blasting the 20mm cannon, there is a chance I wouldn't have seen you. So not only have you given the enemy team block damage, you've likely taken fire because everybody knows where you are now, and you've lost health. So as you can see, there is very little to no advantage to be gained from using the autocannon at range. The only time I would say to use an autocannon at range is if there's one tank left alive on the enemy team, it's a light tank, you can see them from across the map, whatever it is, you're on Westfield, you're on one hill, they're on the other, you can see them driving all the way over there, you know, their armour is thin, so why the hell not, you know, just lead the shot, pull the trigger and hope for the best. You don't need to worry about giving your position away. The ideal time to be using an autocannon is at close range, and this is true for both the FORAD and the BMP-2. Aim for the weaker sides and rears of tanks, because you only have 87mm of pen in the FORAD and 170mm of pen, you know, with gold rounds in the BMP-2. I have lost count of the number of times I've seen a FORAD, and a BMP-2 for that matter, put half their clip into the front of an enemy tank and come away with little to no damage earned. Something I've had to learn myself from coming up against tanks that have autocannons is look at my health bar during the engagement. When you're hit by an autocannon, there is a huge amount of information thrown at you. There are hit markers all over the screen, non-stop noise, and it can feel very overwhelming. And it can cause you to panic. I know I have. The key though is to step back from it all and look at your health bar. If it's not going down, then all this noise, all of these hit markers, they mean nothing. What you need to do is you've got to gather yourself, focus on what needs to be done, which is get the gun on target and ruin the blighter who's just putting dents in your paintwork. Autocannons can be like those dogs that you hear about. They're all bark and no bite, especially the FORAD. Something to keep in mind if you ever feel tempted to channel your inner Rambo, because you'll have an absolute blast pulling the trigger. You will. It can be quite a spectacle. It can be quite fun to just pull the trigger and see all this stuff happening on screen, and you know, sounds and explosions and blah 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 blah. You know, it's a bit of a Hollywood action movie at times, but you'll end up dead long before anyone on the enemy team is. In the right circumstances, autocannons are very good at shredding, but the time and place needs to be right. If the circumstances aren't in your favour, you'll end up doing a whole lot of nothing. Okay folks, that's about all I have for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, I hope you're all keeping well, and I will see you out there.